program in next couple of minutes. Thank you.
Welcome you all to the GlobalSpin Trade Conclave Day 1. I would like to call upon on stage our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Rajesh Aggarwal, Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. Sir, please, I'd like to welcome you on stage. Ms. Manisha, Kinnu, IRS, Director, NIFT. Dr. S. Gloryswarupa Sunchu, Director General, Ni-MSME. Dr. Prateek, Kanakia, Chairman, Thegreenbillions Limited. Thegreenbillions Limited. Dr. K. Visweswara Reddy, Faculty Member and Rector, National Institute for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. And Mr. Arya on stage. I would now like to invite Mr. Yash to give the introductory speech and welcome our guests.
Jai Hind, everyone. Good morning, our chief guest, Shri Rajesh Aggarwal, Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, and other dignitaries on the dais. Today we are organizing GlobalSpin Trade Conclave. And the core objective of this conclave is to bring a diverse viewpoints of experts, entrepreneurs, innovators, and business owners to enhance and position the handloom as eco-friendly fabric in the world, and also to create an environment for sustainability of rural artisans and weavers to not only have market access to Indian consumers, but also international market and help to accelerate their economic development on a sustainable basis. We aim to bring all MSMEs and international experts to focus on promoting Indian handlooms, textiles and apparels as exotic, sustainable fabric. Through this Global Spin Trade Conclave, the organizers and the co-organizers wanted to start an engagement with Government of India to initiate a unique project, UDAN, which is towards creating millions of micro entrepreneurs in India. It will help to create jobs, generate more foreign exchange for India, thus enhance its exports. The important stakeholders includes NIFT Foundation for Design and Innovation, NSDC, DGFT, and the project is led by National Institute of MSME, which is an autonomous body of Ministry of MSME, Government of India. And it has been led under the leadership of its Director General, Dr. S. Gloryswarupa. We aim to create an enabling environment for enhancing skill development and entrepreneurship for the flow of trade, commerce, and technology, and we would be engaging, enabling, and empowering the micro entrepreneurs and startups to gain a better understanding and challenges to global trade and export competitiveness. How do we do it? We will do it by e-learning, by providing the micro loans, and also further helping them to learn how to digitize their products in 2 different e-commerce platforms. We will focus towards ODOP, which is a one district, one product scheme of Ministry of Commerce, and we will be also focusing the aspirational districts, where we are focusing to create millions of new micro entrepreneurs and startups. Hence, the support and the financial assistance from the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, we request to be given to National Institute of MSME for achieving the vision of our Honorable Commerce and Textile Minister for touching the exports to $500 billion and also the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister of making in India a $5 trillion economy. Hence, I welcome you all to our first GlobalSpin Trade Conclave, and I would like to now to facilitate all of our guests. Thank you so much. I would request Ms. Parul Mahajan and our organizer Dr. S. Gloryswarupa, Director General Ni-MSME, to facilitate our chief guest Mr. Rajesh Aggarwal ji, Secretary Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. One from Assam, she is Unmana, and we have Manish Kumar Gupta. They both are incubatees of NIFT Foundation for Design and Innovation. They have brought a very unique souvenir for our chief guest. So these are the souvenirs of the startups from NFDI. So we have another startup, Manish Gupta. We would now request Ms. Parul Mahajan and Ms. Sonia Lamba to facilitate our guest of honor, Ms. Manisha Kinnu. She is an IRS, Commissioner Income Tax, and presently a Director, National Institute of Fashion Technology, New Delhi. I would now request Ms. Parul Mahajan, Ms. Sonia Lamba, and Dr. S. Gloryswarupa ma'am to facilitate our other guest, Dr. Prateek Kanakia, the Chairman, the Thegreenbillions Limited. I will request Ms. Sonia Lamba, Ms. Parul Mahajan to facilitate our Director General, Dr. S. Gloryswarupa. Ma'am. Now I would like to call upon on the stage for the opening remarks by Dr. Prateek Kanakia, the Chairman, the Thegreenbillions Limited. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I extend a very warm welcome to honorable distinguished guests on the dais and a wonderful audience, more wonderful entrepreneurs, the startup founders, co-founders and promoters sitting across and who've taken this, in fact, this endeavor. And I must also compliment Mr. Yash, Arya, the founder of Conclave Foundation, to take this endeavor every time bigger and better. And we need more of such Yash Aryas in this country to make things happen, to turn things around. Now coming back to the agenda, why the Thegreenbillions is a part, or maybe I'm the part of this wonderful GlobalSpin Trade Conclave. We've spoken about skill development, we've spoken about upskilling, we've spoken about modules, we've spoken about SOPs. Every such every such endeavor requires the basic ingredient, that's the fire, the fuel, and that is the money part. So the Green Billions, as you basically, the name itself suggests that it has something to do with greening the world with an underwritten code of sustainability. While I say sustainability, while you understand sustainability, it is about sustaining things. How would we sustain? How would we sustain a micro entrepreneurs? Let's talk about certain datas. Now, MSMEs, if we think of MSMEs in our country, they account for 45% of our manufacturing output and 40% of our exports. Now, currently, we are facing an acute issue on unemployment. People keep complaining about India is the youngest nation. We've been producing educated youth, but we've not been able to provide them, or the government per se is not able to provide them with employment. I must tell you, government is just an enabler. We should come out of this mindset that government will do this, government will do. Yes, I understand it's a welfare state. I would like to quote the philosophy of my father while I was growing up. He used to just keep repeating this. दूसरों के परोसे उड़ सकता है इंसान दीवारों तक, आसमान में वो उड़ते हैं जिनके खुद के पर होते हैं. So the idea is to basically equip our youth, our generations with the wings. My vision, basically I conceptualized, I incorporated this company after listening to Barack Obama before he demitted the office while he had just signed the Paris Accord on climate change. He used to scream from the rooftop. All his social media handles and platforms used to talk about preaching that climate change is a real threat to the planet, and hence we need to adopt sustainable practices. Now, to adopt sustainable practices, it rarely happens that a generation gets to witness transformative governance. We are shifting from conventional form of basic energy to alternate fuels, and things are going to change disruptively. As in, you can't even imagine the way the world is moving. For next 25 years, I would again repeat, the next 25 years would be governed by technology, by leverage of technology. So while I say sustainability, I would attach this finance also with sustainability, and technically it is called sustainable finance. So to support newer ventures, out of the box business models, new entrepreneurs, yes, we require money. Whether the government is in the game, yes, they are in the game. Their skin is in the game. They've been trying. I was just interacting with Honorable Secretary Sir before this this event started. He told me, Prateek, yes, we've been skilling. He gave me an example. Late 90s, we were not there. Such endeavors were not there. Such grants were not there. Still, India became a superpower of IT. Information technology. So it means that yes, we can do things for each other. We need to come out of this shell and this ostrich mentality of looking towards the government every time. Government has made corporate social responsibility mandatory. So if you technically have a net worth of 1,000 crores and more than 500 crores of turnover, you need to put 2% back to certain social initiatives as a mandatory exercise. But I would further bring it down to PSR. I want you to think constructively, everyone. I basically would come down to PSR, as I said. It's a personal social responsibility. We all are responsible. Our skin is not in the game. Government has enabled various schemes. They talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat, they talk about vocal for local, they talk about local to global. How will it all happen? So the Green Billions initiative would be to create an engine, a new age tech platform adopting artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning for enabling finance to the micro entrepreneurs, those who've just gotten skilled or upskilled. Yes, there'll be parameters. Yes, there is a thought process of chicken and egg behind it. That okay, you need to do this to fetch this money. You need to do this to fetch that money. It's same with the employment, right? You need to have this much experience to fetch this job. So this is a vicious circle. I want to break that clutter, but at the same time, we need to work together as an ecosystem. Government is just a nucleus. My idea is to involve the private sector and create an ecosystem of the sustainable finance on this tech platform which the Thegreenbillions is likely to create. We've partnered with Temasek Holdings, a sovereign investment company of Government of Singapore. They host world's largest fintech festival called Singapore Fintech Festival. Our own Honorable Prime Minister had gone there to deliver a keynote speech in 2018. So we've partnered with them and created an Indian version. It is called Fintech Festival India. And I've been listening to various experts on the sustainable finance, on fintech. This is definitely the future. As I said, the next 25 years would be governed by the fourth industrial revolution, and leverage of technology is the biggest ingredient and part of the same. So my idea is to leverage technology for the betterment of these micro enterprises and entrepreneurs, those who've been skilled, upskilled, and want to start on their own. Because our generations will have to come out of the very thought of being a job seeker. We need to get out of this mentality of being a job seeker and become job creators. I really appreciate the startups, those who are present here today, the founders, the promoters. I've been a serial investor, and I keep looking for opportunities. We have an ecosystem which can definitely support such endeavors, such enterprises. We can get in touch, and I believe I'm taking too much of my time. I'm not supposed to speak that much. But to cut short my own series of thoughts, I must tell you that all these distinguished and illuminated personalities sitting on the dais, they'll have their own views, but all boils down to one thing. That's the will of our country. We are a 130 crore people nation. It's a consumption-based economy. Everyone requires things. We need to work for each other. We need to work having a collaborative effort. Government is just an enabler. I will again sum it up by saying government is just an enabler. They're just a nucleus. We need to come out of the shell. We need to put our skin in the game, create newer practices, create newer SOPs which will match global standards. We have everything in us. Nothing we lack. We just need to have that will. And again, thank Mr. Yash, Arya to take this effort, and every time making it a bigger and better affair. And wish him all the luck. And Thegreenbillions is there to support the newer enterprises. We are actually crunching numbers, and I literally I envisage to lend or facilitate finance to start with 10 million micro entrepreneurs. So looking forward for a great association, and all of you, let's stay in touch, make things happen, make something big. We are there for each other, and these are very uncertain times, but like I said, let's make things happen, let's work together. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for this opportunity.
Eco handlooms, eco textiles, and apparel and fashion. He is sponsored by Ministry of MSME, Government of India, under International Cooperation Scheme. And I'm very happy to share that this is the last program for this financial year. This is the 5th program in the series. We started in the month of January with an online program, because that time the third wave was very intense. We did it special emphasis with Mizoram, uh, emphasizing on the GI indicated products of Mizoram, because among northeast states, Mizoram is having maximum number of geographical indications. I think 5 for textiles and rest for anthuriums and their chilies and ginger. It was very successful. We could bring in a lot of international speakers and local MSMEs pertinent to Mizoram, and we could make a match between the local entrepreneurs, especially the stakeholders related to agriculture and horticulture, to rest of India, the mainland and the world. And the second program we could do with emphasis on Ladakh, MSME Shopping Festival. So we could introduce the women entrepreneurs, more importantly, to states of India, other union territories, and to other nationalities of the world. So promoting their pashminas, their apricots, honey, jewelry, and their saffron, tulips, many other products what they have been doing. So we could able to link them. 143 precisely, the entrepreneurs, they could place their products on online platform, and I think almost 41 nations they could participate in this online festival. That was a very big success. Then this month we have started with physical programs. First one we did in Bangalore with the help of World Trade Center and National Institute of Fashion Technology. I think National Institute of Fashion Technology Foundation is also co-organizer in this events. Second one, 2 days ago, we could do in Mumbai, again with the help of World Trade Center, and we could bring in a lot of startups and entrepreneurs, including our clusters. So one of the cluster members, they could come all over from Jharkhand, and they could place their products, and most of the women entrepreneurs, they brought their all ethnic products and they could display. Honorable Governor inaugurated the conclave, and today we are doing the last program, that is third physical program at Delhi, and we are thankful to all the stakeholders, co-organizers for helping NIMSME in conducting these programs. And I take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to the chief guest, the guest of honor, Director NIFT, and the dignitaries on the dais on behalf of NIMSME and the organizers, and also on behalf of our ministry. National Institute for MSME is a 60-year-old organization, and I am happy to share that while the India is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we are celebrating 60 years Diamond Jubilee celebration of our institute. July 1st is our foundation day, so all these conferences and programs are part of our celebration. And I extend a warm welcome to you all to Hyderabad. When you happen to be in Hyderabad, you are welcome to the institute. We have contributed very significantly for the promotion of entrepreneurship development, skill development, and MSME promotion in the country for the past 60 years through our services like capacity building, that is the major activity we have been doing, and research. We completed almost 950 studies for the Government of India and state governments, and also PSUs. We have very strong research base, and we trained more than 500,000 officers, including the Indian Economic Service officers, and most of the industries department, commerce department, and line department officers by imparting the knowledge and the schemes of Government of India and the policies and the new developments in MSME sector. And we almost trained 3 lakh youth and women who are unemployed but educated for over a decade. Since 2009-10, the concept of skill, when it was initiated in India, our institute was very instrumental in developing the curriculums and modules and imparting the skill across the nation. And we are also very good at conducting international executive programs. Since 1967, we have been doing these international programs, and we could reach 11,000 delegates representing 150 nations. We have large international alumni base, and we have schools of excellence in our institute, and we have centers of excellence one good center we have is National Center for Cluster Development. So under the Spurti scheme of Fund for Regeneration of Traditional Industries, sponsored by Ministry of MSME, Government of India, we have been helping the artisans, rural population who are into the handlooms and handicraft sector and artifact sector, and also the farmers and farm women and all the rural population through this scheme. Starting from Punjab to Kerala and northeast to Gujarat, we have developed 151 clusters, and we are also largely into this textiles and handloom clusters. And I'm very happy to share that the saree what I am wearing is from our cluster artisans. So this is called ikat. Actually, this is particular pattern is called ikat. So everything is done through handlooms. We have created the common facility for them. You can Google for this. This is Modhkur Ikat Handloom Cluster. It is almost 50 kilometers away from Hyderabad. So like this, we have been helping the artisans and handloom weavers across the nation. In Banaras, we could develop the silk cluster. And in UP, we have a good number of clusters related to cotton. In Tamil Nadu, we have developed the silk clusters again. In Andhra, Telangana, we developed, and Khadi clusters we have developed in Karnataka. Again, in Tirupati, in Kalahasti, we have developed the Khadi clusters. So my call to the delegates over here, so you can reach us through this Spurti scheme if you have minimum 200 of beneficiaries like handloom weavers or artisans. So we can help you with the common facilities in creation of the machinery, new equipments, technology upgradation, market access, participation in exhibitions, and building their soft skills like their design patterns and their production interventions. All these cluster approach, we can help the artisans all over the nation. So we have been not only these handicrafts, handlooms, we are into handicrafts and food processing also. Because India we say roti kapda makan. So for the first thing is food, and because every time we need new taste and new varieties of food, because old one is boring. So we are largely into that food. Then kapda is again, we need always new trends, new fashions and new styles. So that's why our ministry is focusing on that, and we could develop a good number of clusters. And at present, we are handling almost 40 clusters. And recently, last week, we got approval for 3 clusters, 2 on turmeric and 1 on millets. So like this, we have been rendering the services to the nation and promoting MSMEs across the nation. And we are working very seriously on a concept called doubling of women entrepreneurs, because we have good number of startups here. I think one that is the story of knots. So very, very impressive name. Likewise, this hemp affair also. So very catchy taglines and names. So you can approach us through social media, through email, and through our website. And whatever the help required from Government of India, whatever is possible from our side through training, capacity building and research and this cluster development, we can help you. And we also have an intellectual property facilitation center. So we can help you with the IP products, whether your patent, trademark, industrial design or copyright. We can help you like that. We have several services. And we have been regularly conducting skill development program on fashion technology. We have a livelihood business incubation for fashion technology and baking technology. So like this, we have several services. And I'm very much thankful to Secretary Sir for sparing his valuable time on a working day and encouraging us because Ministry of MSME and Skill Development, we work very closely. Encouraging and supporting us with his presence and also encouraging the startups. I take this opportunity to welcome all the startups, the story of knots, hemp affair, and the startup from Assam. I could not get her name. And most importantly, our foreign speakers from Ethiopia, the ambassadors and the speakers, and from the delegates from Mauritius. So they have been with us from Bangalore program. So they were in Bangalore program, they went to Ahmedabad, again they came back to Delhi as a speaker, because this is an international conclave, and the delegates present over here, all the ladies and gentlemen. So a warm welcome to you all to this 2 days Global Spin Conclave. And I hope the deliberations will help the participants with the knowledge and skills and the information. I think there will be a lot of interactions and panel discussions. I think everyone will be benefited through this conclave, and a lot of networking should happen, and everybody should help each other, and it should be a win-win situation to all of them, and the industry and the startups should make a tie-up, and they should grow together for the nation building process. I wish this conclave all the best, and my success to the startups. Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you.
I will now request Ms. Manisha Kinnu, IRS, Director NIFT, to address the audience.
A very good morning to Secretary Sir, esteemed dignitaries and delegates. It is my pleasure to be present at the opening of the Global Spin Trade Conclave that endeavors to discuss the best practices among multiple stakeholders from handloom, textile and apparel industry. It is heartening to address the international delegates from across the globe as well as industry experts from India. NIFT has been one of the premier institutes of fashion education in the world, providing professional human resource to textile and apparel industry. Graduating from the portals of NIFT, the alumni have changed the business of fashion in the country. Over the years, the alumni contributing in multiple domains have built a strong network, thus forming the backbone of fashion industry in India and abroad. The NIFT curriculum has always focused on exposing students to the rich textile heritage of India. The Craft Cluster Initiative, sponsored by DC Handlooms and DC Handicrafts, has been a successful academic endeavor across various disciplines of NIFT. The initiative has given opportunity to students to interact with artisans based in different clusters of India. The craft sensitization has familiarized students about Indian textile traditions, evoking a deep sense of regard towards sustainable cultural and textile practices. The artisans too have benefited through co-creation of contemporary and viable designs, thus boosting their sales. There are many success stories of NIFT alumni who have strived to amalgamate traditional craft skills in contemporary fashion, thus promoting the textile heritage of India on global platform and providing livelihood to several artisans. NIFT has implemented an array of consultancy projects from design solutions to business plan interventions, technology upgradation, also providing their expertise to government and industry. An international project with Ethiopian Textile Industry Development Institute, ETIDI, is worth a mention. As part of the project, NIFT conducted training programs to strengthen the capabilities of ETIDI in training, consulting, research and marketing for the Ethiopian apparel industry. The recently set up NIFT Foundation for Design Innovation, NFDI, is a Section 8 company that will facilitate innovation and entrepreneurship by converting and translating innovative design and technology ideas in fashion and textile industry. The facilitation provided by NFDI would include pre-incubation, incubation, and accelerated services. I take this opportunity to congratulate the organizers of Global Spin Conclave for providing a platform to facilitate engaging discussions amongst the various stakeholders. I hope the conclave will strengthen business opportunities and innovation in textile and apparel industry. Thank you. I wish everyone a productive time at the conclave. Namaskar.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now like to invite our esteemed chief guest, Shri Rajesh Aggarwal ji, IAS, Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, to address the audience and share his vision with us.
Morning to all the friends from India and from other friendly countries. So that was very educative, and I've been listening to all of you. In the present job role, I have to look at in which job roles our kids should be skilled, and where are the entrepreneurship or financial interventions required. The job roles of today, many of these did not exist 20 years ago. And we have absolutely no clue what the job market will be or what skills will be required 20 years down the line. So I have personally, for my own own simplification, designed a scheme that what are the basic human needs. As DG Nismi said, since civilization began, human needs are roti kapda makan, food, housing and clothes. Paintings going back to 60,000 years ago and written history, maybe starting with Mesopotamia 6,000 years ago. So we do get a peep into human lifestyle over centuries. Some things have changed, some have not. So when we go to Konark temple sculptures, we see ladies with heels. So the footwear was there. When we go to Ajanta caves, we see the lipstick and practically hundreds of hairstyles and clothing styles. So these are where the jobs are. But over centuries, and now that pace of acceleration is obviously increasing, acceleration is increasing. So the production styles, the distribution channels and consumption styles, they have changed. Now we talk about e-commerce and home deliveries and so on. And the textiles and the food also, they have been sort of movers of global commerce, again since ages. We all know about Silk Route and Spice Route. So this is important. So that's why we see a lot of our friends from other countries. So it's not only the production part, it's also the design part. So that also matters. These days in job market, we talk of 3 Ds. First is demographics. So we have a relatively young population. A friend from Ethiopia were telling me they also have 70% population is young. One, it results in a labor force, abundant labor force. So which in a sense dictates our production also. If labor is cheap, you would not really go for mechanization. So you will weigh your economic options. Also, it indicates consumer preferences. If the population is young, your clothing, your textiles, your housing, your food, they all have to be geared to consumer preferences of the younger lot. Second is digitization. And in the textiles, digitization actually began in 1800 with Jacquard loom, which was the first pattern making mechanical machine. And in fact, the first analytical programmable computer, Charles Babbage, that was designed in 1880 or something. So that was just a copy of Jacquard loom. So textile has shown the way to basically digitization. Now we talk of a lot of automation in the production, so a lot of robotic usage in the textile sector also. Then in design, obviously NIFT and others, you are day in and day out using computers for all the designs and patterns. Then consumption, one as a consumer looks at Instagram of, I am sure all the startups here would be using all the digital channels for their sales. And for the consumer also, one goes on Flipkart or somewhere and just orders something. And the very important is decarbonization. Demographics, digitization, decarbonization. We have only one Earth, and if we destroy it, we have nowhere to go. So Mars, well, maybe only a few hundred people will go to Mars. So if we destroy our planet, and we are seeing the effects already. The climatic changes effects we have already started experiencing. But decarbonization, does it mean only going back to roots? जैसे फूड में कहते हैं कि जो दादी का खाना था वो बढ़िया था, कपड़े वो जो पुराने ज़माने में पहनते थे वो पहनने चाहिए. It does not really mean that. At the moment it means energy saving, क्योंकि fossil fuels and other means of energy that is a big factor of pollution. और production process में भी, whether it's a plant or a synthetic textile or whatever, or the way we process it, the pollution effect should be minimal. The chemical dyes, the pollution effect should be minimal. On the energy side, maybe 10 years down the line, there may be breakthrough in nuclear fusion, maybe on the battery storage, on the hydrogen fuel side. So then probably we will not talk of energy saving in production. But definitely lesser pollution, that's very important. And so that's why I was actually very happy to see the story of knots and the hemp affairs. And Prime Minister also talks of circular economy, that nothing should go waste. And also of ahimsa silk. So when we talk of decarbonization, having a non-violent approach, that even the animals are not being harmed. So that kind of silk production. So that's also very important. So that way, I felt happy to be here amongst all of you and share some thoughts. And after 2 days, I will ask Yash that any outcomes, and DG Madam and NIFT, that what are the areas we can work together. So I'll be very, very happy to work together on skills part as well as entrepreneurship part. And I will stop here. So we have already exceeded our 1 hour slot overall. But my best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Visweswara Reddy to give the vote of thanks.
Respected dignitaries of the dais, the foreign delegates, the startups, and other participants in the GlobalSpin trade conclave on eco handlooms, eco textiles and apparels. First of all, on behalf of Ministry of MSME, National Institute for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, the organizers like IAM Kadi and NFDI, I would like to thank our chief guest of the day, Mr. Rajesh Aggarwal, IAS, Secretary, Ministry of Skills Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. So, sir, your right mention about the basic human needs, the roti, kapda or makan, and the right mention of the heritage and the culture, which throws back to 60,000 to 6,000 years. And a very good mention about the 3 Ds, the demographic participation, especially the India has got the demographic dividend as such, and the mention of digitalization, decarbonization, and this particular conclave, sir, we assure you, talks about the eco handlooms, the eco textiles and apparel. Already we have people, some of the exhibitors in this regard who are into this. So thank you very much, sir, for your very valuable time and very valuable inputs for the audience today. I also take this opportunity to thank Ms. Manisha Kinnu, IRS Director, NIFT, New Delhi. Madam, the NIFT has been contributing towards the handloom and textiles and especially the apparel sector, and they are getting into technology, and they have been also into sustainability to a very great extent. Thank you, madam, for your presence for today's inaugural session. Thank you very much. I take this opportunity to also thank our Director General Madam. She was talking about the international conferences which were being held under the International Cooperation Scheme under Ministry of MSME, and we have organized very successfully the 4 international conferences, and this is the 5th one which is being organized. And we could see that those segments, especially we have talked about Mizoram, Ladakh, which were untouched, and we have brought them into the limelight, and we have exposed them to the national and international market through our conference and through our cooperation. And very important thing, as Madam has rightly mentioned about the clusters, especially clusters related to the handlooms and textiles which are there throughout the length and breadth of the country. Thank you very much, Madam, for your support for making all these events, 5 events, very, very successful. I also would like to thank Dr. Prateek Kanakia, the Thegreenbillions Limited. So he has talked about the sustainability, and very important thing because we have people from government over here. He was pinpointing on the concept of government is enabler. Yes, government is the enabler, and you have to come forward. We are here to help you, and we'll definitely see that you get into the best business. And our dreams of 5 trillion economy, vocal for local and local for global, right? All these things, and Atmanirbhar Bharat especially, can be definitely achieved. And thank you very much, Prateek sir, for your handholding of the micro enterprises, especially related to the micro finance related to the micro enterprises. Thank you very much. I would like to thank our ministry, especially our Secretary Sir B.B. Swain, for helping us in organizing these events. Mercy Apo Madam, Joint Secretary, Ministry of MSME, she has been very much instrumental in sanctioning these programs. I would like to thank the foreign delegates from Ethiopia, Mauritius, Zimbabwe for making their presence here, and we would like to see their presentations in the coming days. I would like to thank NFDI, especially led by Dr. Nigam, who has been there with us right from Bangalore, Mumbai, and even in New Delhi, and his tireless job in making the event very, very successful. Thank you very much, Dr. Nigam, for your presence. I would like to also thank the startups and exhibitors. The Story of Knots, I thought Story of Knots is something related to a matrimonial service company, but it was something different. Thank you, ma'am, for being here. Hemp Affairs, we had a very good amount of discussion, the kind of work they are doing. We should definitely congratulate, and we are here to help you, Hemp Affairs, for your upcoming clusters. And we also have Unmana founder Aras from, she is also a startup. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you all the participants and delegates for being in this particular conference. On behalf of the organizers, once again, I would like to thank for being here. Thank you one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So all the international delegates, please come to the stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you about startups. Startups, please, Unmana, Entrepreneur, and
Story of Knots.
please come, please. Startups. The NFDI startups, please.
What did you also complete?
The NIFT Foundation, ma'am.
मैम आप ऊपर जाएंगे प्लीज, ऊपर चले जाइए. सॉरी प्लीज, थोड़ा आप लोग शिफ्ट हो जाइए. थोड़ा शिफ्ट हो जाइए और इधर आइए प्लीज, इधर आइए.
थोड़ा सा दें आप मैम साइड में आ जाइए नहीं नहीं ठीक पीछे पीछे आइए Yes, सामने please. Yes. Wait a minute. Thank you very much. Thank you.